Okay, so I have a replay for you guys. My very first game playing in patch 1.37. I hopped into my premium Spitfire Mark 9 to take it out for a spin to see what was different, how everything was flying. And I think there's something wrong with Hispanos. You'll see in this game they seem to be doing monster loads of damage, like kills that I should not have gotten as quick as I did. It was only taking a few rounds to blow wings off of planes. It was a little bit ridiculous. But you'll see here in this replay that we've got going. After it, loads. New loading screen, that's cool. Little view of the airfield. Do. Oh, there we go. Here's my Spitfire. I'm gonna fast forward time a while because the beginning of these things are always just climb fests. Spitfire climb is a little worse than it used to. Used to be you could point nose after takeoff. You could just go 30 degrees into the air and just fly off into the space. But with the new flight model, Spitfire climb's a little worse. Not by much. I mean, I was barely losing any speed at 27 degrees after takeoff, so not like it lost a whole lot. It also seems to suffer a little bit more than it used to at high speeds, but I mean, anyway, I'll go to my in-game view. It's gonna be a little twitchy because it's flying around, but I'm tired. I don't know what that cinematic thing was or how to mess with that, so I'll just bypass it and pretend I know what I'm doing. So, okay, I'll slow down a little bit. I'm up here pretty high, 25,000 feet or so. Looking for enemies or whatever. There is a, you'll see if I have them turned on. There we go. There's one dot in front of me there. He's gonna be my first target because he's up high with me. He's on somebody's tail, so I want to get him off. Flip over, miss my first burst. So doesn't help much. Hard to tell how much damage the Hispanos are doing when I don't hit the target. But we flip around, he's still in there. He was doing maneuvers, so he doesn't have a lot of enemies. And look at that. Did you see? It was one burst, and his wing snapped clean off. It was just tut, his wing is gone. It might have been a fluke, but if you watch the rest of this game, you'll understand what I'm going at. That just didn't used to happen. The Spitfire before, it took a few more rounds than apparently 2 to 4. That was like 4 cannon shells, snapped his wing clean off. This is a Focke-Wulf diving after me here. I'm not quite sure if he's going for me or one of my teammates that's below me flying in the same direction. So I'm just kind of putting myself into a shallow climb and pulling him a bit. Turns out he is indeed going for me, so I start maneuvering. I don't want to roll in a predictable manner, so I kind of wiggle to the side a little bit, throw off his anticipation. And then maneuver around him. He keeps maneuvering, kind of bleeding his speed as well. I was hoping to do. Hope to drag him down, and he realizes his mistake and just flies off again. I try to harass him a little bit, I think, with machine guns here. Save my cannon ammo, because I didn't expect to hit anything there. And then he dives for energy again, realizing that he had lost his advantage. So this guy's pretty good. He knows what he's doing. At least knows that he made a mistake there and knew how to get out of it. So I try to keep my altitude advantage. He's trying to zoom back up. It's close enough that I thought maybe I can get another little lucky hit with those machine guns. So don't want to waste, not wasting cannon ammo. He's in a steep climb, so you see me go into my virtual cockpit so I can set my angle at what I know my plane can do efficiently. And if he's going to climb, I'm just going to climb, and I figure I'll outclimb him. Spitfire should, even with the reduced climb rate, should still outclimb a Focke-Wulf. And I am in fact outclimbing him. I'm gaining on him a little bit. So what I do is I reduce my climb angle to increase my horizontal speed, hopefully close the distance and catch him while he's still trying to climb. And he realizes this in very short fashion. Fast forward just a little slightly here. He really quickly here realizes that I'm gaining on him, I'm outclimbing him, he can't beat me this way. His only hope is like to do the same thing he did before and roll back over and dive, which is what he does right here. Now I'm going to pause it here for a quick second. I make a really big mistake here, and I wanted to tell you guys hopefully will learn from it. You'll see when he's diving down in front of me like this, what I should be doing right now is maneuvering to an intercept where he's going to be. He's going to dive down, pull a split S, and be traveling back the way we came below where we are right now. So I should be rolling over and preparing my own split S so that I can come out of it right behind him. If I do it right, you can come out of your split S right behind the guy who's in front of you doing this with a perfect kill shot. What I do instead is a very common rookie mistake you see a lot of people doing. I go for this deflection shot, and I nose down, and he rolls to the side a little bit, dodges my machine guns. And by the time I roll over, I have missed my chance. It's too late. My firing solution, he's gone. He's faster playing, so he gets away. You know, a couple more little parting shots with machine guns. He dives down a bit. He's not quite faster than me yet, because we're both diving from a pretty high speed, and we both got pretty good dive acceleration, but Spitfire just can't hold a dive with a Focke-Wulf, so I pull off, and so, okay, well, I can hound this guy from above, so I'll just go into a shallow dive on top of him. He tries to climb a bit, realizes that that's going to get him killed, just goes right back into running. I'm looking around now for enemies, trying to clear my 6. There is a dot back there, so I maneuver on this new threat. This guy's obviously a bigger problem if he's diving on me. So same situation. I avoided him. I roll over on him now, and I get a parting shot here. And look, I snatched his pilot. That was luck, but I'll take it. My wings were perpendicular to his plane. The cannon fire from my left wing went straight into the nose of pilot section of his aircraft. And again, these Hispanos are doing ungodly damage, so it just really quickly busted him. Head on with a Focke-Wulf, not a good idea. Take my quick shot and get out of the way. Roll over, hope maybe he make a mistake. Turns out he did. He turned to maneuver with me. Bad idea, Mr. Focke-Wulf. A little bit of damage there, but no kill. So I roll over on him, staying with him. He's trying to run now, but finally realizes that he made a critical mistake. But he's damaged pretty bad. So I'm staying above them, there's a lot of enemies in this area. My team is doing very poorly. Most of them are already dead. One of them crashed on takeoff, one crashed into a mountain. Like 3 or more have been shot down. We're out. Most of my team is dead, and their team is entirely still alive, except for the couple guys I've killed and 1 or 2 more. So their skies are crowded with red targets. And this guy, I make another big mistake, is I stay on this guy. Rather than resetting for the next engagement, knowing that there's so many enemies, I should have flown away from combat and pulled up. I finally pull up here, just because I see all these enemies in front of me. There's a whole ton of dots right in front of me, and that one ally there. One ally above us, so we're the last 3 left alive. And luckily, these guys are, I don't know if they're arcade players or what. Here we go, I'll pause it right here. You can see, it's hard to point it out. I don't have a cursor to show you, but there's 2 planes right in front of me there, 2 silhouettes. And right below me, kind of on the right side of my plane, on the bottom of your screen, is that ally. He dove. These 2 planes, one of them, they're diving on him, with me right behind them. Like that is a common arcade mistake. They're so focused on getting the first kill they see that they don't properly assess the situation, and they fall into a typical arcade lemming train. And you'll see this develop as I roll this fight. But what they should have done was waited and dove on me. That guy is down on the deck, out of the fight. He was no threat to them. I was still at their altitude, capable of firing on him. I was still a threat. So they should have engaged me, forced me down, and then they could have taken him out at will. Because my ally had already given up and ran, which was, the right thing for him to do. So what I do is I roll over onto this first guy. If you're gonna give me this shot, I'm gonna take it, because I want save my teammate, even the odds a little bit. This LA5N is right at convergence, right in front of me. A little bit of poor accuracy on my part, but blew his wing again. A couple hits, blew his wing clean off. And look, because of that lemming train, that other plane that dove down is right in front of me. I didn't have to maneuver at all. And after I killed the first guy, the second guy is already in my gun sights. This is why you don't lemming train. This is what arcade players have to learn when they're trying to play this mode. It's just you have to be smarter about it. There was a third plane on their team who rolled around behind me. There was 5 of them in the dogfight, so it was inevitable. I jumped into the dogfight. I'm going to slow down so I can explain a little bit. I jumped into this knowing that there was no way out of this. They were all faster than me with more altitude. My Spitfire could not hope to outrun them. So I just decided to get stuffed into it, grab as many as I could, and just I might be backed into a corner, but I still get claws of my own. So maybe I can get a few of them with me. And this low-speed turning fight is kind of exactly what you want as a Spitfire. So I'm hoping that I could take a few of them out, maybe get a break. If I can just go full aggressive, maybe I can get a few of them out of here. I overshoot that Focke-Wulf there, roll over. Realize I'm going to roll over in front of him because he's going absurdly slow for some reason. So I bailed out of that maneuver, flipped back around. He's still... There he goes into the ground. I didn't even get a hit on him, so I didn't get the kill, and I don't know what was wrong with that guy. Maybe his engine was out or something, but he was very slow. Here's another Russian plane in front of me. Get a quick burst in on him, some damage, no kill yet, but the damage was enough. Down he goes. So, I'm down here in this little turning fight, cleaning up, but there's still more here. I still am not safe. I can't run. And that damage that I just took right there was from a lag that I never saw. Like, you saw me turn around and look, I never saw that guy. And now my wing was crit. Without a wing, I can't maneuver, and he gets me. I had the point of this was, even with my team all but dead already, I think there's 10 players on both teams, and I think the rest of my team accounted for 3 kills. There was one guy who had 2 kills, one guy had 1, and the other 7 did nothing. Then my Spitfire here, I claimed 5 of them. 1 pilot kill, but the other 4 were all extremely short bursts. Like, I seriously feel like Hispano's got a significant damage buff and 1.37. Those wings were flying off if I hit them anywhere near convergence with those twin Hispano Mark IIs. That was ridiculous amount of damage. So it was a pretty decent game, all said and done, but I think, I made some mistakes. They made some mistakes at the end there. They got really cocky. That's why I was able to get those 5 kills, because they just turned into a derp train and decided to... they were all in faster planes than me. They could have easily just boom and zoomed all day. Just energy fought me while I was down low with no energy and no speed. But instead they just sat in horizontal turns after limiting training the guy in front of me, presenting me with all the targets in the world. That was my first experience with 1.37. Was just wanted to share with you guys. You should see the damage of the new patch, and you could see kind of what my first impressions were. That's everything. Have a good one.